Hello there and welcome to the new video where I will going to show you this highlighted topic, how to create Power BI ribbon chart. So ribbon chart is one of the most useful chart, and I will show you in a minute that how it helps you compare the various categories and their respective rankings. And this sheet which I'm showing you is present within the description. You can use it for searching the relevant topic because I will going to document all my topics here itself. Alright, so let's go into the Power BI and first of all see what is ribbon chart. Alright, so here we are within the Power BI, and if you see, a ribbon chart is present. And if you observe this ribbon chart, you will see that there are various categories which are product subcategory is basically starting over here in 2009 and over a period of time. So from 2009 to 2010, 2011 and 2012, how these categories are moving, and then finally in 2012 where they are ending. So for example, this first category, which is office machine, is the first category within 2009 and 2010 as the category which has generated the highest sale. But in 2011, you can clearly see that this category has moved on to the fourth point. So maybe, you may want to look at some historical data as to what really has happened here. And then again, in 2012, this category is the first one. However, if you will see this fourth category, which is in 2009, has become the first category in 2011, and this category is tables. So this basically shows you the information. Also, if you will observe this bar which has been highlighted, bar over here, it shows the relevant information for the given category and the given year, as well as the sales measure. But if we move on to this ribbon, you will see that along with the previous and current sales, it gives you the information about the ranking. And that's what I mentioned at the start, that it gives you the information not only about the values as to how the values are progressing, but also about the ranking. And as well as down there you will see even the rank change is present. So in 2010 table rank was 3, but in 2011 the rank 1, so there is a movement of 2 ranks. So that label is by default generated by the Power BI. So how we can create this chart? Let's see this. So first of all, let me just remove this, and down there or on the right hand side, if you will see, this option over here is the ribbon chart. So once I click over here, it won't show us anything over here because we need to create the settings for the ribbon chart. So I've just expanded it, and over here the axis, legend and values, these are the three important. So axis is nothing but the x-axis, and it is our order date, so the period on which we want the information to be trend. This is the hierarchy, but what I'll do is I will just have it at the year level. And then we have the legend. Legend is nothing but our product subcategory, so product subcategory is present here, and I'll add the legend over here. And then we have values. Values we can take either sales or profit based on our interest. So what I was going to do is bring the sales information. Now if you will see, we have the ribbon chart created with the basic settings, but we can even format it so that it looks like the one which I have shown you there. So for that we need to come over here on the format, and over here we have these options. So first of all, this legend is not looking really great over here, so I'll come on to the legend, and I will say is on the right hand side. And if you will see on the right hand side, the information about the product subcategory is coming, but this is very small. Our eye will have to do a lot of work if I have to see this. So what I'll do is increase the text size and make it 10. Now this information is properly visible along with this. So up to us whether we want on the right side or on the left side, down at the end. We have a lot of options over here. Also, apart from this legend formatting, if I select any legend, for example, let's say this one, it will highlight the portion where the particular legend is present within the chart. So just an additional information I wanted to give that is related to the selection from the legends. Now we have this, we have these data labels which are off. So what I'll do is I will enable it. And if you will see, the legend are now properly placed at the relevant positions. We have the option of choosing the color, the display unit. Right now it is in million, but let's say we want to change it into 1,000. So it's clearly $391,000 or $446,000 in sales. And then how's the orientation? It is horizontal, but we have the option of vertical. But vertical, I believe, won't look really good. The position inside and inside center, you can play around with this. I will just leave it with the auto option. And if I want to increase the text size over here, then you will see that in this case, this particular one is going out of the range. That's why it's becoming hidden. If I just increase one more, so you need to see in your scenario how much you want to increase so that it is properly visible for the end user. And then you have the label density column, which basically shows how much density you need when labels are being displayed. You want to show the background or you don't want to show the background. I suggest don't show the background. And already, if you will see, if we have so many categories, the chart is becoming a little bit busy, and showing the background unnecessarily adds one more element, which we don't want from a good visualization perspective. That very less clutter and lot of information. All right, customize the series. If you want to individually look at each series, their respective color, their respective text size. So this is a very big exercise and very much related to how you want to customize your series, because if you see all of these legends are present here, you can select those, and down there you can change each of the information about each series point, which is nothing but your product subcategory. So, but apart from this, you have this ribbons area as well. So in ribbons, which is very specific to the ribbon chart, you have this spacing. So how much, if you see, a little bit of spacing is coming over here. So how much we want? I think 2 looks really good, but then once you will increase more, it will start giving you a little bit odd result. However, if categories are less, you will start to get much more meaningful output out of this. But I'll just keep it to, I'll say match series color. What happens if you don't do? This is the kind of output if it is not enabled. How much transparency we want? So if we just increase the transparency, or I will just change it, I'll just try to change it directly from here to 50. You will see that this transparency is going down. If I change it to something 20, you will see that it is becoming very much similar to these bars. So how much transparency you want, and then finally whether you want the borders or not. So this is something, if you will see, little bit of changes is coming. So that's more about the customization that we want to do. But this is about very quickly as to how you can create and format. Down there you will see you have a lot of customization information about the title, background, lock, expect, border, shadow, tooltip, visual header, which I'll leave it because very specific to our own choices. However, if you have any question about any specific scenario, then let me know into the comments, and I will answer you. So that's about it, and I'll meet you in the next topic. Hello there and welcome to the new Power BI tutorial, and in this tutorial I will going to show you how you can create the waterfall chart. But first of all, what is waterfall chart and how it looks like? So I will show you in second, and just a quick information that this sheet is present within the description. So if you want to search any of the tutorial, you can get it from the description, and even share it if you feel like it will going to help your colleagues and friends who are learning the Power BI. Now let's go to the Power BI and see what waterfall charts really looks like. So here is a quick example of how the waterfall chart really looks like. So what it is showing you is basically the 2009 and then 2010 and then 2011 and 2012. And here from 2009 to 2010, there is a transition that has happened. So the value of sales within the 2009 was 4.2 million, but in 2010 it has reduced to 3.5 million. So the general question is, where the sales has come down, and that's what it tries to answer, that sales has gone down into the office supplies over here, then furniture, and then here in the technology. And that's why what you are seeing is the lower sales over here. So this is the very good information which it shows as a breakup of information as to how the transition has happened, or what are those factors which is contributing into the resulting power. And from 2010 to 2011, there is a slight increment into the furniture. There is the there is a drop in technology, and there is a drop in office supplies. And then if you will see from 2011 to 2012, two categories, office supplies and technologies, is basically growing up. However, the furniture is going down. So a very detailed and very information which usually resulting into a question as to what categories are contributing into these this sale, or what category is going up or what category is going down, is something very useful with the help of this chart from the visualization perspective. So how we can create this chart? So first of all, what I'll do is I will just delete it, and if you will see, the waterfall chart is present over here. And if I just expand it and expand a little bit up here, you will see that it is asking for some information. For example, the category, and then the breakdown. So category is nothing but your x-axis. So maybe what we can do is add the order date, and I will just keep the year information. And then the breakdown should be based on the product category. So what I'll do is I'll add the product category, and then the values, let's take the sum. And if you will see, now the chart is very similar, however little different from what I showed, because there is some formatting which I've done here in this chart so that it will look like a good one. Because if you will see, in 2011 it shows the 3.4 million as the sale, however the bar is not that high. So what you can do is come over here in the formatting, and here we have this y-axis as one of the axes over here. And if you will see down there, what is the start position, what is the end position, right? So what we can say, maybe the start position is maybe 2 million or 1 million. So if I say 1 million, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe one more. Nope, I guess 6. That doesn't look good. So what I'll do is again change it to 2. Maybe if this is not making a lot of sense, you can do it 3. Yeah, this looks fine because this is very much similar to what I had. So you can go into the y-axis. You can make the end as auto, just so that Power BI determines where it needs to end. However, you have the option of changing it to 3 million over here, and that way your bars will be clearly shown on the axis. Apart from that, you can see that there is this option of having the grid lines or don't have the grid lines, and how much decimal value you want. Apart from this, data labels are off, but you can enable it. And in the data labels, you can even choose the display unit, which I suggest in this scenario should be in 1000, as to indicate how much sales in dollars, $135,000 or $220,000, that has gone up or down. But as you can see, apart from this, you have the color option, you have orientation, position option, where you want to position it. Let's say you want to position inside and, so that's how you can get it. But this is more around playing around, or it's about how your organization basically wants you to create a chart like this, which clearly dictates about where the labels should be present, what position it should have, what font it should have, what size it should have. So all of this option is present over here, and it has the option of showing the background. However, I suggest don't show it, because I like, as per my preference, personal preference, I like very less clutter and more visual presentation on this. However, if you also have, if you see, you also have the sentiment colors, which is very specific to the waterfall chart over here. because sometimes increase can have the negative effect. So in that case, you may want to show it into a red. And I'll give you a question. Let's say you are setting an interview and your interviewer is asking, okay, can you tell me one scenario where increase will result into a red? Well, in that case, take a pause and think about the scenario, what answer you will going to give. If very quickly you need to provide an answer. And I hope you must have got it by pausing the video. But if you have not, then I'll give you two scenarios. One is the discount. If the discount is going up, then it is red. As well as if expense is going above the budget, then also it is red. So you can basically control all of these from here and then make the relevant changes. But for now, red indicate absolutely fine, green indicate absolutely fine. So I'm fine with that. Also, the total is nothing but these bars. So if we don't want user to think like this is green, that means it is positive, then we can change this to something which has no impact, like gray in this case, right? If you don't like gray, or if your organization has a different color coding altogether, like for example this chart or this color, then you can change it. But this is something very important. That's why I wanted to show you that total is something you can change it. And however, it should not be green or red, which is this color, which is more like a sentiment color in this scenario. But that's about it. There is an option of breakdown. Let me see how many breakdowns. So maximum is like 3 breakdown, which is being given by default. We have these 3 categories. That's why the 3 breakdown is given. I will just keep it default. I will not change it because that will unnecessarily make the chart complex and may have some issues on the runtime. But apart from that, rest of the other option is very straightforward about what should be the title, what should be the background, border, lock aspect, shadow, tooltip, and visual header. I will leave it up to you, but if you have any question, you can let me know and I'll answer that. So that's about it, and I'll meet you in the next topic. Hello there, and welcome to the new Power BI tutorial. And I will show you in this tutorial how to create Power BI funnel chart. So funnel chart, first of all, what is funnel chart and how does it look like and when you will going to use it, I will show you in a minute. And before that, this sheet which I'm showing you over here is present in the description. So if you want to use it by, for searching a particular tutorial if you need, as well as in future also, I will going to, continue documenting the information, and as you can see, the link is also present. So this information will be present to you in the description, and you can go ahead and search it. All right, so what is funnel chart? Let's go ahead within Power BI and see it. All right, so here we have an example of a funnel chart. However, the funnel chart is mainly useful, or the basic purpose it was created is to basically show how much opportunity. Let's say you are in a sales domain and you are bringing the sales prospects, and those sales prospects have to go through the various cycle or the various stages. So each bar here basically represents the stage in which it goes through. So for example, you have generated the prospect, you did some negotiation, and then the second prospect is doing the documentation, third is doing the negotiation and finalizing it, and fourth is finally closing the prospect. So it shows that in each stage, what is the value or what is the count of opportunities that is being filtered or that is being reduced, and then finally how many closed opportunities you have. So if the size is going really down, let's say for example like this in the fourth stage, that means you are generating a lot of prospects, but they are not resulting into the closed or the booked prospects. However, if it is something like you are starting here and this is your fourth and the final prospect, that means whatever prospect you are building is the quality one. So almost close to 80% of the prospects is being booked in your case or closed in your case. But here I have taken a slightly different example just so that I can show you how you can create it. That's the main idea. But that's the reasoning behind I try to give you why you would really require a funnel chart. So over here, what we have is funnel chart representation by the product subcategory, and each bar here represents the how much sales that is being generated in each category. So that can be a separate and another way, or in another creative way of creating a bar chart in this scenario in the shape of a funnel, so that you, if let's say you are not really interested in showing the regular bar chart in your dashboard and want to make it a little bit more eye-catchy, then you can probably use even this one. So the way you were going to do that is, or how you were going to create it from the scratch. So first of all, I'll just delete it. And over here, you have this funnel chart. So once we will click over here and expand it, let me try to expand it. So what it asks is basically the group. Group is nothing but the dimension by which you want it to be grouped. So what I want is the product subcategory. The value is something we can choose sales or we can choose profit based on how we want to create it. So once we choose this, it will going to create the funnel chart based on the default settings. So these are our some of the default settings. If you want to add tooltips, like along with the right now what we are getting is the sales, percent of first or percent of previous, this particular bar is something that we are getting. But if you want to add more tooltips, let's say we want to add profit into it, so we can just add the profit. I'll just click profit, and profit is now added. So now the profit information, if you will see, is coming at the end. So that's up to us how many tooltips what we want, and there is an option that you can choose some, average, and couple of more measures that is being given, which you can select. Okay, so once we have this information, we can format it the way we want. So for example, we can go over here. Right now the category option is enabled and category is in the black color. If you don't want to show it and just want to show this, you can make it off, and if you enable it, it will start showing you. Also, you have the option of choosing the text size and font family. Then you have the option of doing the data color. Right now the default color is this green color. However, I can go ahead and choose, I guess this is the one I was showing you. Also, you have option of choosing the color based on some measure. So if I click over here, it will show you a screen which is color scale count of based on the field. So based on what field? Let's say we want to make it by profit. So based on sum of profit, summarization is sum, default formatting is 0, lowest value is red, and highest value is green. And we'll click OK. So once we'll click OK, you will start seeing that this category, the tables, even though it is the second highest category, but from the profit perspective, it is not doing really well. However, if you will see, binders and binders accessories is basically the good profitable one. Similarly, this is here, it's a good profitable one. So that's basically the added advantage you can have with the conditional coloring or the conditional formatting in this case using the profit. If you want to remove this, there is this erase button with which you can remove it. We have these data labels on, and it shows right now. If you don't want it, you can uncheck this, but you would definitely want to have it, so always make it enabled. Then you have the conversion. Conversion is nothing but this conversion over here. So what it shows is basically the color or the text size and the DN family. So leave it default for now, but in specific case, if you may want to change it, you can change it. However, other like title, background, border, shadow, and everything is very regular one. I hope you have been using it, but if you have any question, you can let me know, and we can think about in your particular scenario as to how to achieve it from the formatting perspective. But that's very quickly about how you can use the funnel chart. So what I suggest in the end, the way you use it in the funnel chart is basically to show the progression that is into the stages. For example, a project goes into the stages, or like I mentioned, the sales prospects goes into the stages, and we want to clearly see how much impact each stage is making, and finally what we have from the perspective of that final stage. In that scenario, it will be much more impactful as compared to this one. However, here I just wanted to show you how easily you can create it. So that's about it, and now I'll meet you in the next topic. Hello there, and welcome to the new Power BI tutorial where I will show you how you can create the scatter chart within Power BI. And before I show you the Power BI scatter chart, just a very quick information is that this sheet is present within the description. So if you want to jump onto a specific tutorial, as well as along with that link, you want to jump on directly to that video, you can find it within the description so that it's easy for you to maintain it. Also in future videos, all the future videos and their titles, I will going to put it over here so that it's easy for you to search for a relevant one. Alright, so let's go ahead within Power BI and see what is a scatter chart, how does it look like, and then finally how you can create one. Alright, so here we are within Power BI, and as you can see, this chart shows a relationship. So right now the relationship is being shown between the profit and sales, and here you have the profit starting from 0k to 10k, 20k and 30k, clearly showing you some of the customers over here. So the customer name is given, Emily Fan, what product category they are in, or the purchase that is being made in a particular product category, what is being the sale and the profit. Also down there, if you will see the another customer, which is Julia Fest, and what product category they purchased. However, in this case, we are having the negative profit. So this is about the descriptive side of this chart. However, if you will see, largely when the sales is increasing, on the larger side, the profit is also increasing. Also, alternatively, if there is a different relationship altogether, for example, as the sales is increasing, the profit is decreasing, then you may want to look at from that perspective as to what is really going on and what you can do to increase the profitability. But it shows the relationship between two different measures with the help of these dots. And on these dots, we can basically plot the customer name, the product name, or any other detailed category which is present a lot in numbers. So right now, there are like more than 2000 customers, which I am plotting it over here. And you can see how easily it is able to manage those 2000 data points, color coded with the help of these color coding. So and even if I just click it over here, you will see that even it highlights the category which I am selecting. So for example, if I highlight furniture, it highlights the furniture as well. So here is the basic idea that I have given you, is to show the relationship as well as hundreds or thousands of data points you can show. Along with that, you can basically show a relevant customer name and some tool tips related to that. But how would you create it from the scratch? So for that, I will just select this and press delete. And then we have this scatter chart over here. So this is like the dots which is present. So I'll click over here and expand it completely. What it asks is basically the details. That means the data points which has hundreds or thousands of data points. So in my case, it is customer name. So what I'll do is select this customer name. Legend is nothing but if you want to differentiate between these points by product category or the customer segment. So what I can take is the product category, and as you can see, furniture, office supplies and technology is coming along with a blank. Maybe there are some null values. Then on the x-axis, in x-axis we want the profit, so I will enable the profit. So x-axis is profit. On y-axis, what do we want is the sales, so I will just select the sales, and the sales is coming over here. And then size. This is very interesting because size is something where you want to change the size of each of these data points, and there can be n number of ways in which you can change. For example, you may want to change the size based on how much discount you are giving, or what is the profit ratio, or maybe from shipping perspective, like higher the bubble size, that means higher the number of days you are taking to ship the product. So we can be creative around that, but let's go ahead with the discount for now. And if you will see the discount, as we add, the bubbles have increased. And the main reason for this is its sum. So what I'll do is we'll just change it to average. Also, we have the option of changing the size as well. So what do we have is basically average discount. Play axis is useful in case you want to do some animation, and I'll show you in the end how you can do that. But for now, let's go into the formatting and jump directly over here in the shape. And if you see the size and the marker shape, so what we can do is we can reduce the size a little bit, and yeah, think. And from here also we can probably change it to maybe 25, 25 and negative 25 I wanted to say. So negative 25 is fine. Yeah. So right now if you see, the profit is coming on the x-axis and sales is coming on the y-axis. So we may want to switch it. So I'll just go here. I will remove this profit, drag this on the y-axis, and on the x-axis I will drag the sales. Yeah, now it is coming like the way I was showing you earlier. And in the formatting over here, I have shown you the shape, and I will just put it like 30. I think that makes way much better. The marker shape is something which is up to us what we want to choose. We want to choose the square, or sort of a diamond shape, or maybe a triangle. I guess diamond is looking way much better. Bifurcation is already being done by these three categories, and if you want to customize each individual series, we can enable that, but it will open up a lot of options. So we have furniture series, what marker shape we want, we can choose this, and we have office supplies and a different marker shape. If you want to choose, we can choose it. But for now, I'll just disable this. So that's one of the options which is very much relevant to this. However, you have other options like if you want legend on top, on bottom, or maybe top center like this one, you can enable that. Also, I feel that it needs to be a little bit increased, the text size. So I'll increase the text size so that one can clearly see each of the category and their respective legend. Legend name, you can change it. Product category, if some more business friendly name you may want to give, you can give it over here. Also x-axis and y-axis. For example, if you want to make some changes as to where the y-axis should start and end, and similarly where the x-axis should start and end, and what should be the color, what should be the text size, then you can give it over here. But this is very straightforward and very similar to the other options. And similarly, data colors, you can change the color. Let's say for furniture, if you want to use completely different color, maybe this blue color, then you can change it to the blue. But I guess earlier color was fine, so I'll just change it to the green, because it was going with the color combination. But this option is available that we want. However, if you see in my previous video, I've shown you that you can do a color coding or the conditional color coding based on some measure, which is not available here, and you can just simply change the legend color in this case. Let's quickly see the category. Category has nothing, but if I just enable that, it will show you the category name in case, especially in those scenarios where it is properly need to be highlighted. So like Deborah or Emily Fan, Julia West, some of the examples I've given you at the start. If you think this is like too much, then disable it. Yeah, apart from this, all the other properties is very straightforward. I think you can explore based on the requirements or the conditional state requirement that your company is having, and make a beautiful scatter chart. So that's about it, and I'll meet you in the next topic. Hello there, and welcome to the new Power BI tutorial, where I will going to show you how you can create the tree map chart within Power BI, as well as format it as per your needs. And before I move ahead, just a very quick information that this sheet, which I am maintaining for all the Power BI related tutorials, is present within the description. So if you want, you can get it access directly, or if you want to share with other people who may want to learn it. can learn it directly from here step by step about each topic as to how to create each chart or connect through various different data sources. Also, as you can see, the link is present for the YouTube video. So this is going to be helpful for you as well as others who may want to learn this. So now let's move on to the topic, which is Power BI tree map chart. Alright, so here we have the Power BI tree map chart, and this chart is especially helpful when you have a lot of different categories and you want to show the proportion of each category as to how much sales or how much profit or any other measure that is relevant to your analysis is coming under that particular category. So for example, over here we can clearly see that technology is the first one, followed by the furniture and office supply as the three main categories. And for each main category we have some subcategories. Like for technology we have office machine, telephones and communication, copiers and fax, and finally the computer peripherals. Similarly for furniture, their respective categories, for office supply, their respective categories, and even the last category, the rubber brands, even though it is not properly shown because the value is relatively very less, still when you hover your mouse over to the category, you are able to see it. So a couple of scenarios in which you can see it. First, I have shown you like you want to show multiple so many values and their respective proportion, as well as if you are thinking about creating a pie chart and if it is going anywhere beyond 5 different categories, also those categories proportion is not making a lot of impact on the pie chart, then start thinking about if you can use the tree map chart, especially on even on the bar chart side. When you want to do the comparison on multiple main categories and subcategories, then in that scenario you may start thinking that whether bar chart is a useful one, or if you plot the same information within the tree map chart, then the tree map chart is useful or not. Now let's see how we can create this particular chart or the tree map chart within Power BI. So first I'll delete that, and the tree map chart is present over here. So if I just click it here, you will see a tree map chart is present, and I have just expanded it. And what I want to add first is the group. Okay, so the group is nothing but the product category. So product category is added, and then details. In details, I will going to add the product subcategory, and for the values we can choose any measure like sales. We have the profit, and we have discount and all. So let's choose sales for now. And if you see, this is the chart which was even shown earlier is present now and showing us the category, various main categories like technology, furniture and office supplies and their respective subcategories. However, if you see, the labels and everything was pretty much visible, but in the previous chart, but not here because these are the default settings. So to change the settings, you can come back here in the format, or you can move into this format option, sort of a painter icon. And first of all, you can enable the data labels. So it is showing you in million what is the value. So what I can do is go down there and increase the text size to something which is 11. And I want to display the units in thousands. So if you see, even though it is taking a lot of space, but this makes more sense than just million. Or if you want to show the millions, then you can come back and show the millions. Alright, if you want to change the color of these data labels, which is only this part, 1.13 million, 1.89 million, then you can change it. I think down there you have the option of changing even the font family. Okay, so that's one. Second is the legend. So legend is not what we want, but the category. So we want to increase the, if you see, if I'm increasing, this is the size which is being increased. So it's now clear with the 12 font size, or if you want to increase, you can increase a little bit more, like 14 category, as to what this category is and how would you increase it. So both of these settings I have now shown you how you can change the main category and subcategory, their respective data labels over here. You also have the data colors. And if you see, the data colors is present for each main category. So for, let's say, office supply, if you want a different color, maybe this one, then you can choose this one, or any other color of your interest. Maybe the purple is what your organization is using. You can choose this, and you have the option for all the three different categories. But down there, if you will see, all the other formatting is pretty straightforward. But in the last point, what I'll show you is the tooltip. So right now what we are having is only the sales, but if you want to show more information on the tooltip for the end user perspective, for example, the profit, then I will just add the profit over here, and it will start showing me along with the sales how much profit that we are making in this category. So that's mainly about how you can create and format the tree map chart within the Power BI. But if you have any question, let me know. I'll try to answer it based on the knowledge I have, or maybe we'll do a little bit of research if it is a little bit complex. But yeah, this is all about the Power BI tree map chart. So thank you, and I'll meet you in the next topic. Hello there, and welcome to the new Power BI tutorial, where I will show you how you can create and customize the map chart within Power BI. And before I move on, just a quick information that this sheet where all the Power BI related tutorial is present along with the YouTube link is present in the description. And you can directly jump on any of this topic, and in future also I will keep on adding the topics in this sheet. Alright, so now let's move on to what is map chart, how would you create it. So here we are within the Power BI, and if you see, this is the map chart which is being created for Canada, and its various provinces have been highlighted with the respective value. So this information is very useful if your executive is at very high level and want to understand how each of the provinces is doing. Then this becomes a very attractive chart for them, and it's very easy for them just to quickly look at that Ontario is doing really great. However, this particular category or over here, this one is not doing really good. Also, you have the option of zooming it, and with the help of your mouse, you can move up and down. And based on how detailed information is present, so right now we have at province level, but even if you have at the city level information, you can even go to that level also. So let's see how we can create it. By first of all, let me delete it. And the map chart is present over here. So if I just click it, and let me try to expand it. Now over here, there are a couple of fields that we need to add. First is the location. So location is nothing but the province. So the province information, as I added, you will see that a circle or the bubble has been added, and it's the same size bubble as compared to previous chart where I've shown you the bubble was either bit big or small. We'll see in a minute how we can even do that. Then we have the legend, and we have size. Size is basically where the bubble will come. So what I'll do is I will bring the size information over here, and you will clearly see that in some cases the bubble is pretty high, so Ontario. In some cases, like the Newfoundland or in this particular province, the value is or the bubble size is pretty low. Apart from this, you have one more interesting point, which is legend. It was not present in the base chart which I was showing you earlier, but this is very helpful if you further want to bifurcate your chart over here. So for example, if I, let's say, add the customer segment on the legend, you will see that it is now changed into a pie chart, which is if you will put it over here, the customer segment information is also coming along with the province information. So here corporate is definitely the highest one, followed by home office, and then the small business, and finally what you have is the consumer. Similarly over here, more than half of the sale is done by the corporate. So that's the sort of interesting information you can bring in when you add the legend. So I'll just remove it. I wanted to show you for your information. Then we have the formatting options. Right now the data color is default color. You can change it from here to anything other than if you want. So earlier we had this green color, but if you want anything else, you can change that. Also, you have the conditional coloring, right? So for example, if I just choose this, and based on the field I want to choose is the profit, because sales we have already taken. Lowest sales should be red, highest sales or highest value should be green, and it should be based on sum, and I'll click OK. And you will see that Ontario, not only sale is high but also the profit, but these regions does not, or even Northwest Territories or Yukon Territory, or even I guess here Prince Edward Island, there the sale is present but not with the good profit. So this is another level of detailing that you can do within the map inside the Power BI. Now if you want to erase this, you have this eraser by which you can come back to the normal condition or the normal situation. Category over here, if you want to enable that, it will show you the information or the category, which is nothing but the same information. So up to us whether we want to show it or not. So in this case I'll just remove it, but just wanted to show you this option. And the bubble size, if you want to reduce, increase or decrease the bubble size so that it is clearly visible, the size option is present here. Some map related options. So we have this map control. Do we want to provide auto zoom or not, or zoom buttons? So once we add zoom buttons, you will have these zoom buttons added where you can zoom in, zoom out based on your needs. You have some map styles. So map style is present right now. The road style is present, but you can have aerial style. So this is how it will going to change. And if you have dark style, this is how it will change. The light style, and finally the grayscale. Okay, so I'll come back to this default road, and there is an option of showing the label or not. Right now it is enabled, but if I uncheck, you will see that those labels have gone. In this case, what we can do is we can only show the labels which is related to the category. So in this case, only where the bubbles is present is the information is coming for those categories. So that's, I think, is more useful instead of showing all the different labels over there. So that's mainly the option that you have related to this. And there is this heat map option as well, but right now we do not have the data point, so I'm not showing it over there on this. But rest of the other option is related to the general formatting as to title, background, border, shadow and all, which you can explore as per your needs. Also, if you must have seen the latitude and longitude, if you have those data points for accurate point of view, right now it's the Power BI which has generated longitude and latitude, but if you have your own latitude and longitude, you can put it over there for much accurate representation of where the bubble should actually present. But that's about how you can create and format the map chart. I hope you have found it useful. Let me know into the comments. And if you found it useful, please don't forget to share it with others so that they can also learn about it. All right, now I'll meet you in the next topic. Hi there, and welcome to the new Power BI tutorial. And in this tutorial, I will show you how you can create a Gauss chart. So Gauss chart is very similar to if you have seen the dashboard of the car. There you have the speed indicator or the heat indicator and maybe an indicator for the gasoline or the petrol or diesel. Then this is a very similar type of a chart which shows how far you have reached on the target or how far you are away from the target. So what I will show you how you can create this Gauss chart within Power BI and also format it for the relevant parameters. And before I do that, just a quick information that this sheet is present in the description if you want to go and jump onto any tutorial, or if you want to keep it like into your back pocket, just so that whenever you need it, you can actually go inside it, and the tutorial links are also present. So as and when they will be published, I will just add the tutorial links and you will be able to get it easily. Alright, now let's go into the Power BI and see how we can create a Gauss chart. Alright, so here we are within Power BI and we have the Gauss chart over here. So the Gauss chart is like this one, which I mentioned, sort of dashboard that you have within your car. It's sort of a speedometer that is basically present in the form of gauge. Now we need to add the couple of parameters, like what should be the value, what should be the minimum, what should be the maximum, target value, so on and so forth. So maybe we want to, let's say, understand the discounting, how we are giving the discount. So maybe what we can take is basically the discount. So right now what it is taking is the default numbers based on the discount field, and right now it is sum, but what I want is the average discount, which is the right indicator. So it's basically shows that 5% is basically the discount, and the highest value that you have is the 0.10 or the 10%, right? And then what you can have is basically the slicer, just to understand the other categories. So for example, the slicer is present over here, and within that slicer we can probably add the product category. And now once we select the product category, the information in this chart changes. So for office supplies or for technology, so right now it does not shows a lot of change because we have not configured the values over here, which we have to do that. So for example, the minimum value, so for discount, the minimum value, we will change it to the minimum. The maximum value, again, it will be the discount, and we will change it to the maximum. And what should be our target value? Now over here we can again take the discount. However, from here we need to basically choose. So for example, if I take the median, right? So the median is now coming over here as where the median is present and where the average. So both are close to 0.05 because both are indicators of their average. However, if in your case you have a different field which contains targets, then you can actually put it over here as an aggregated field and it will start showing it over here. Now if I go to the this formatting, you have this gauge axis, and right now nothing is being shown because we have configured everything over there. Then we have these data labels, and the data labels is nothing but these labels which are present over here, and even the data colors is present as the fill, and what is the target is sort of a blue. You can make it conditional colors as well. And over here in the general, we just wanted to show the X position and the Y position. Also, what I want to quickly show is what if you don't have this minimum and maximum value. So if I just remove this, and even remove this, then I come over here and again come to the gauge axis. Now the minimum, maximum and target value is generated. So let's say minimum value is 0, maximum value is, let's say, 0.20. So now if you see, the 0.20 is here, and 0.05 is over here, and target is, let's say, 0.10. So we can see how far we are from the target, and then anything above the target is extra, or the extra bonus or the extra discount that you are giving, for which probably you may need approvals and everything. So with the help of this gauge axis, if minimum, maximum and target value is not present here, then only these three fields will be enabled, otherwise not. But that's about how you can configure the settings, or how you can configure the values within the Gauss chart. Also down there, if you see, there is a target. It's about the formatting of the target, and then couple of more formatting options, which is pretty regular when you have the other charts. So I'm not putting it over here, but that's very quickly about how you can create a speedometer, and sometimes even used it as a KPI. So you can have like multiple charts where you have reached the sales as compared to the target, what is your profit target, what is your discount target. You can show it at the top, and then basically show the KPIs and then related information into the respective charts. So also it is used as the KPI chart. But that's about it, and I'll meet you in the next topic. Hello there, and welcome to the new Power BI tutorial, where I will show you how you will going to create the Power BI card KPI. So card KPI is like a very much highlighted number. You must have seen in various reports or dashboard that a particular number or a series of numbers have been highlighted with a bigger font size, and those are nothing but the card KPI within the Power BI, and we will see how we can create those to make an impact via the dashboard, because those numbers grabs the attention of the end user. Because of the higher in font size, they basically say that they are the important one for as far as this dashboard is concerned. So I'll show you how you can create it in two different ways. Also, a quick information that this sheet is present in the description. So if you need it, you can find it from the description and get the link and keep it with yourself, so that you can search any of the Power BI tutorial which I have posted or I will be posting in the future, and you have even the link of the YouTube video on which you can directly jump in case if you're looking for that topic. Alright, now let's go ahead and see the card KPI within Power BI. Alright, so here we are within the Power BI, and the card KPI is present over here. If I click it over here, this is a very simple square box which is present over here. If we select this, these are just one field is what it needs. So what, let's say we take is basically sales. So right now we have 14.9 million in sales. If we increase or decrease, nothing will going to happen, and you will see that you can put it like a small KPI. And so this is for sales. Let's say we create one more for the profit, and this is our next KPI, that on this sale, this is the profit that we are making. Similarly, we can create n number of KPI. So this is the basic idea about why you would require it. However, you have the option of formatting it after this basic configuration. So we have selected this, and in the formatting you will see that we have this option of data label. What should be the color? That color should be green or something else, or black, or it should be conditionally colored. So that is also possible. I've shown you in a couple of previous videos as to how you can conditionally color it. How do you want to display the units? I think right now by default in automatic you have the millions coming. I think that is fine. I will leave it. Let's select it again, go into the formatting. You have the word wrap in case there is a lot of text, then word wrapping is useful. You have the category color. Category is nothing but sales. If you think this is very light or you want to choose a different color altogether, then this is how you can choose it, a different color, so that it is visible. Similarly, these settings are available for profit, that means for each individual card KPI. But apart from that, if you will see that rest of the settings or rest of the formatting is the same, like title, background, so on and so forth. But I want to show you another way of how you would going to create the this KPI using, which is called as the Q&A box. So if I just select the Q&A box, so ask a question about your data. So total furniture. Alright, total furniture sales. If I select that, that is my number or my KPI which I am getting. So that means if you want to give some flexibility to your end user, you can give like this, total furniture sales. Okay. Similarly, you can ask the question or what it has suggested, if you have seen that, total office supply sale or total technology sale. That way you have much better control, or your end user have a much better control as to what information they want to see. And if you don't have anything, if you just remove everything, it won't show you anything. It's like try one of these to get started. What is the profit ratio by customer segment, right? So you can do that. This entire thing in this ask me, you can expand it if let's say there is a lot of things which wants to show, then you can do this. But in case if you want to show it as a KPI or a dynamic KPI, then I suggest up until this one, and keep showing your results as it is coming. So that's about it, and I'll meet you in the next topic. Hello there and welcome to the new Power BI tutorial where I will show you how you can create the indicator KPI, which is another KPI apart from the card and multi-row KPI that we discussed earlier. The new or the another KPI, indicator KPI within the Power BI. And before I move ahead, just a very quick information that this sheet where all my tutorial titles and their respective links are present is you can access from the description so that you can easily search any of the tutorial as well as any future tutorial. I will going to put it here. Alright, so let's go into the Power BI and start creating this indicator KPI to better understand it. So here we are within Power BI, and if you see this KPI indicator, if I just click it over here, it will going to give me this KPI. So earlier we looked at the card KPI, the multi-row KPI or multi-column KPI, and now we are looking at this indicator KPI. So it is asking for information as to what is the indicator, the trend axis and the target goals. Okay, so what is the indicator? Here indicator means the field, for example the sales, which is going to work as whether it is going up or down based on this measure. The trend axis is the date field. So over a period of time, what is the sale? And then target is again going to be either one of the field that you have as a target, or here I will do one customization that I will going to pick the target over here. So right now if you see, the target is meeting because sum of sales is present as an indicator, and the goal 3.17, if you are able to see, let me just expand it, 3.17k is again the same value. That's why we are seeing this right in the green color, which indicates that goal is met. So what do we need to do in this case is just so that you are able to see the change is we will going to take the average sales. So 452.58 is basically the average sale. However, the goal is 3.17k. Now this 3.17k does not make sense because it is a sum. So what we are going to take is the particular value by picking up the maximum. So here now our goal becomes 803, and however where we have reached is from the average perspective is only 452. So with this we can basically define whether we are doing good or bad. And if you see on the background also you are able to see some visualization as to on a daily basis how this trend axis or how this trend is really looks like on a daily basis. And if you are interested looking at a higher level time zone, then you can come over here on this drop down, and right now it's order date, but you can change it to the hierarchy, and what it is showing you the year information. So right now not looking really good, so I can just remove that and again bring in the order date. But this is basically what the sort of settings that you can do. Even you can look at the various different, right now we looked at the year, but you can look at the quarter, month by creating the custom fields. Now once we have this, you can do some formatting by coming over here. So here in the indicator, display unit is auto, but if you have in thousands or millions or billions, accordingly you can change that. I suggest auto because it will going to pick up dynamically whenever the value is changing, especially in the case of filters. And decimal places is again auto, but you can change it to whatever that you want. Text size that you want to increase or decrease based on how much impact you want to show. Where on the horizontal alignment you want to align left, center or the right, and as well as vertical alignment you want to align top, center or bottom. So I think center makes sense. You want to show this icon or not, so right now it is on. And icon size, if you want to increase the icon size or decrease it, just so that your user is able to clearly see this. Now the trend axis, what is the transparency? Right now 20%, you can increase or decrease the transparency as you will move, so that's a useful formatting. Goal, you want to show the goal or not, what should be the goal label in this case. You may have a different label, for example budget goal or sales goal or maybe any user-friendly goal, and what should be the color. and whether it should be a distance or not. So yeah, we want to show the distance, which is minus 43.66%. And down there you have the color coding, where the direction is that high is good, or we can say low is good. So in this case it becomes opposite. However, we want higher sales, so high is good in our case, and accordingly we can choose the color. There are certain times there are situations when you have the color blind people, and in that case you may want to choose a different color which is not a color blind. That's a separate topic altogether, so I'm not discussing it, but just wanted to show you that you have the options of changing the colors. Also, as you can see, there is a conditional coloring which is present over here. I have covered in my previous topics. How to do the conditional coloring is very straightforward. You just click it over here and it will show you the window that you want the color sale. Lower is red, higher is green. Based on the field, you can choose the field from here. What should be the summarization, maximum, sum, average, and all. And default formatting is 0, 0 is coming somewhere around here. And then for minimum you have this value, and for maximum you have a custom value. I will just change it to, or keep it custom itself, and click OK. But for now I'm just canceling it. Just wanted to show you the option is available here. Down there you have the option of date. Right now the date is not enabled, but if you enable the date is enabled for us, which is the last date. And what do we want? The font color or the font family and all is something which is enabled. So in my view, you either enable or disable. That's more of a personal choice, but I would just not show it, because during the KPI, showing a lot of information may confuse the user. So these are the different formattings which is available that you can do and make your KPI, which is the indicator KPI, useful. So that's mainly I wanted to show you how you can create and format it. And now I'll meet you in the next topic.